Hey, what's up, Realtors Toolbox? Michelle Haas here. Today we're hanging out with the amazing Lisa Massey from SNAPNHD, and we're going to put some more tools in our toolbox. We're going to see what is NHD all about, what do you need, why do you need it, and when do you need it? So everybody welcome Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, so tell us who you are. What do you do?
So again, I'm Lisa Massey with SNAPNHD, and I cover El Dorado, Placer, and Sacramento counties. That's my territory. And I have been in the NHD industry for a little over 6 years. I got into this fun real estate industry back in 2001 as a title rep. So being on this side has been a lot of fun and learning more parts of it as well.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So if I needed an NHD report, how much does something like that cost?
Well, we have two options. One report is $69.95, and that's actually what's required by Civil Code 1103. And that report contains the NHD, tax, and Mello-Roos. And then the other report, which we highly recommend throughout the real estate industry, is going to be $99.95, and that includes the NHD, tax, Mello-Roos, and environmental concerns. So I like to tell people in the environmental report, think of anything that is man-made that affects air, water, and soil. So think of anything that could potentially be cancer-causing, noise ordinance, just letting the buyers know more detail before they close escrow, that they know what they're getting into.
Okay. So would a seller want an NHD report, or are they just the ones paying for it?
So the seller is actually required by the Civil Code to provide this report to the buyer when they are selling their home. You cannot close in the state of California 1 to 4 residential properties.
So the seller is required to have the NHD report, and we see sellers sign off on them all the time. That's part of the requirement. So how would it benefit a buyer?
So what's great for the buyer is it's letting them know what they're getting into before they actually purchase the home. So for instance, if they're in a flood near a dam, if they're in high fire severity zones, mudslides, landslides, liquefaction, it's just giving them more of a detailed look at what their potential loss could be.
Okay. So we have an example of one of the reports right here with us. So I'm looking at page 1.
Really focus on that first page. It's going to have your invoice. You can actually bill it to escrow. Like I said, you can't close escrow without having this report. And then at that very front page, it's going to tell you very quick in or out determinations of the 6 statutes that are required in the NHD report.
Okay, so this one says special flood hazard area, no. An area of potential flooding, no. That's good. A very high fire hazard severity zone, yes. So this one's in a fire, how do we say it? Fire risk area? High risk fire area?
High fire risk area, yes. Say that 10 times.
Right.
And that's very important, to look at because, with everything going on with insurance companies right now, people are not getting insured. They're having to go through the FAIR Plan insurance, which is very expensive. So very important to pay attention to those in and out determinations.
So if somebody got this particular report, they need to call their insurance agent right away to see how much this could cost.
Absolutely. And, a lot of times agents will have their own insurance company, but also, letting the, seller and buyers, whoever's on there, if they have a contact for them, that's always a great solution as well.
Yeah, do some homework. And the earlier, the better. So yeah,
Yes,
this is
I
good.
always recommend order the NHD at the time of the listing because you really don't want to get close to closing escrow and then realize, oops, we need fire insurance, and that premium I've seen anywhere up to 12 and 13,000 and more, and I think we're going to see even higher prices. So you don't want to get close to closing and then now the buyer can't afford the
Yeah.
property.
I
So
was talking to an insurance agent and she was saying how a particular home had insurance of 13,000 a year. That
we are
is,
seeing that a lot. Yes, it's very, very common right now. And like I said, I only see it getting higher. So, very important to pay attention to. And you're also going to see more areas that will have those high fire risk areas too, as you know, the state continues to map.
yeah. Okay, good. Let's see. So this particular report says a seismic hazard zone, no. What is this? Liquefaction zone.
Liquefaction.
Liquefaction zone. What is a liquefaction zone?
That is where the water and soil, they become uneven, so it can cause the ground to shake and cause, basically the infrastructure to cave and like basically collapse into the ground.
Are we saying sinkhole or sinkhole
Yes,
like?
very similar. Yes.
Oh my. Okay.
So again, that has to do with, water and soil.
Yeah. Do you see that one checked as yes very often?
Not very often at all.
Okay,
No,
so
you can see it more like in certain areas of Southern California, maybe a little bit in the Bay Area, but it's not as much in Northern California.
okay, good to know. Good to watch out for.
Yes,
Yeah, that can ruin your day.
absolutely. Don't want to sink.
Right? Oh
You
my
see it a lot in other countries, like, in Asia, there's a lot of that goes on too. So we don't have it as much here, but there are some areas.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay, good to know. I mean, these few questions right here are fantastic things to know that how could you find out? So this is great.
Now you know.
Now you know. So let's see. Page 2 of our report, SNAPNHD, it says FHDS notice.
When a property is in a high fire severity zone, it will automatically pull that AB 38 form into the NHD report, which is great because it's right at the front, page 2. Right after you see those quick in and out determinations, it's going to say in very bold. And your client, what they will do is the seller will actually go on, click on that link, which takes them directly to CAL FIRE, and they will request their inspection report. And remember, so important to order at the time of listing because sometimes these inspections can take 3 to 4 weeks. So you want to make sure you get that requested right away. Then, if the home was built prior to January 1st, 2010, and it's in a high fire severity zone, that is where the seller will have to fill out our very easy interactive FHDS form. And this will allow them to fill out what they know on the property. And if they have had an inspection in the last 6 months, that is actually a perfect certificate to be used. And they would just apply that to the contract and the agreement. And then if they haven't had an inspection, then that's when they're going to have CAL FIRE come out and request that before the close of escrow, or they can negotiate it with a buyer 1 year post close.
Very good. Okay. This page is very helpful.
Very important because, as you know, California is on fire, especially right now, and the maps are forever changing. So if you don't close, you don't pay with SNAPNHD. So you may as well just get that report so you're aware of what to look for and you don't have any delays in escrow.
Great information right there. All right. So, wow, the first 3 pages of this report gives us a lot of information already, and it seems to be pretty easy to read, easy to use. And there's 51 pages to this report, Any others that I should really look out for?
Absolutely. There are a lot of pages in NHD reports, but what we're going over today is really focusing on what to look for. And so the other one that I really stress that's important is page 30 of our report. And
Okay.
that's going to have the tax calculator. So it's for the supplemental tax bill. And why that is so important is that when your buyer closes escrow, and they're, depending on what time of year that they close, they're going to receive a supplemental tax bill, and you don't want them to be surprised by that. So what you can actually do is use this tax calculator, put in what the new purchase price is going to be, and it will actually calculate what that amount is going to be. And it's literally like so close, it's pennies. So it's really important for you to share with that buyer. That way there's no surprises. And later on when they close, they're not upset with you, because you obviously want them to come back and work with you in the future. So that's one that's really, really important.
Very cool. Okay. Yeah, page 30 on this one. Okay, so it says tax information on top, and that's really helpful. Great. So it sounds like, as a realtor, looking at this report with your client, not just saying, hey, I have something for you, sign here, is so much more helpful. So walk them through it. And it's not a complicated forms that we're seeing here, not a complicated report.
No, in fact, that's our main goal at SNAPNHD, is to keep everything very simple, very easy to read. A few other things that I love about our report is that we do indemnify all parties to the transaction. And what that means for you is that, one, we have 10 million E&O insurance. We've never had a claim, which is great.
Wow.
And what that does is, for, let's say, escrow, title, both agents on either side of the transaction, including the transaction coordinator, we are stating that everything is true and accurate in our report. And if there ever was an error on our part, that we would cover you and make you whole. And we don't have a limited liability. So whatever that loss is, we're going to make sure that the whole transaction is covered.
What could be a loss that you're describing?
Well, an example is saying that, maybe that the property is not in a special flood or a high fire severity zone, and it actually comes back that it is, and we miss it on our end. That would be an error on our part, which, thank God, that's never happened.
That's good. Sounds like it's very accurate then.
Yes.
Good. So how could a realtor make this more smooth for you?
I think the best thing is just to order the report at the time of listing, refresh the report. If it's, longer than 60 days, there's no charge to do it. So you want to make sure, because with all the new mapping that's coming out, you want to make sure that you have an updated report. So just reach out to me. I can, very easily send it over to escrow, to yourself and your buyers. And then also, if you don't feel comfortable explaining the report to your buyers, just give them my contact information, and I'm happy to go over that report with your clients.
That sounds really great. Okay. Any other advice you can give for realtors as they start this process?
Oh gosh, I would say just to make sure that you're working with a reputable company, that they have all of their local and state disclosures available in their reports. I know our report, it shows up in less than 15 minutes. We own our own data here at SNAPNHD. We are fully partnered with CAR. So another thing that you can do that helps escrow and your TCs is actually adding the company SNAPNHD to the RPA dropdown. So we are number 2 on there. Nice. And if you add that, it just takes the guessing out, and you actually get the report and the company that you trust and want to work with.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Any other last thoughts?
Well, I am a certified ZipForm trainer. So for any agents that are working in templates and saving themselves time, and there's also a new workspace that's in, the new version of ZipForms. So if you are looking to, sharpen your skills or save more time, definitely reach out to me for those either lunch and learns I provide or more one-on-one education.
Love it. Love it. All right. Very good. Very good.
All right, love. Well, have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you like this video, please contact Lisa for any other questions on SNAPNHD and come see us for a new video soon. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.